Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Money Matters Top Tips for Success, where each and every day I bring on new business owners, entrepreneurs, and executives and have them share their top tips for success with you. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres to keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, moneymatterstoptips.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Alison Connor on the line, and she's Director of Marketing over at Lendistry. Alison, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me, Adam. I'm glad to be here.
So I'm excited to get more into what you're doing over at Lendistry, but before we do that, let's get a little bit further into your background. So how did you get started in your career and in business?
Yeah, of course. So I really consider this my second life when it comes to the business world. I was a stay-at-home mom for 10 years, and with some change in circumstances, I just knew that I needed to find a job, but more than that, I just needed to start a new career. So kind of looked around, what am I good at? What do I do? You know, I'm organized, you're a mom, you're multitasking, but what is my passion? So I knew that one thing I worked at was being a photographer. I took pictures of my kids, I took pictures of my friends' kids for holiday cards, things like that. I don't know what got in me, but I just thought, I'm going to launch a photography business. I don't know what I was thinking. So launched that. It just suddenly took off. I did what you had to do. I watched every YouTube video. I mastered every part of photography, and it just started to grow. So did that for about a year or two, and then I felt, you know what, I really need a website for this. And at the time, websites were $8,000. There was no way I could afford that. So what do? I'm thinking, I need to figure out how to build a website. So went back to YouTube, learned how to build a website, build a really basic WordPress. Then I updated it. Then I started building websites for other people I knew. And then suddenly I thought, maybe I could be a website designer. And I could add that part to another part of my business. So at that point, I added on website design and development to my brand. So then that took off. And started doing, some marketing, started, doing marketing, website development, and running marketing for small and medium-sized companies. And so that grew to business strategy, building company brands, and it just kept growing over and over and over. So did that for about 5 years, feeling a little restless. I knew I wanted some sort of a challenge. And just out of the blue, I was offered a position to build a marketing department for a tech startup. So I just took another leap of faith, shut down my businesses, accepted the job, and just went to work. So since that point, I have, led to a few different positions, and that led me here about 8 months ago to my current position as Director of Marketing for Lendistry.
Wow, what an amazing story, and I love it because it seems like you have the Midas touch. You're like, and then they asked me to do something else, and they're like, all right, I did it. Now we had this other division. I love your story. It also means that you're just very thorough and do good work in whatever you're looking at doing. So that's a great story. There's some other people listening right now that are maybe in transition in careers too. So for you, the transition was from being a stay-at-home mom to going back into the workforce and deciding what you wanted to do and what you wanted that new work life, so to speak, to look like. So what kind of advice would you give to some of the other people listening right now that may be in career transition and or in the process of really rebranding what they want to do going forward?
I mean, I would say study. Listen to everything you can listen to. Read everything you can read. And I would also advise, especially like women coming back into the workforce in my situation, I would say just say yes to everything. Say yes, go home and figure it out. Because I think so many people are scared. I've been scared 100 times thinking, I can't do that. I can't accept that offer. No. Just say yes, go home, stay up all night, teach yourself how to do it, go to work the next day and do it. That's just what I think pushes you forward.
I absolutely love that, and I'll also just throw out there, YouTube is your best friend. It really is. When I have people ask me these questions all the time, and I'm like, just go on YouTube. Like, why would we have a conversation about how to upload a podcast? I told you, use Anchor. That's how you do your podcast. Go on YouTube. There's a million other, I shouldn't say a million, but there's 1,000 people out there that have done a video that's probably really good and can teach you everything that we could learn on a, hour-long phone call of back and forth in 5 minutes. It's like, just go on YouTube, watch the video, follow it, do it a couple of times. You'll be better than me in a month. It's okay. I'm all right with it.
I 100% agree. Every day when someone asks me, how did I go from point A to point B, I'm like, everything I know I learned on YouTube. And that is every part of my career. I truly believe that.
That's awesome. I'm also an advocate, and no, we're not getting sponsorship dollars from YouTube. It's okay, but I just love it.
It's just awesome.
So let's switch it up a bit, Alison. So let's get into what you're doing over at Lendistry. So first, tell me a little bit more about the company, please.
Sure. So we are a technology-enabled community development financial institution. What that means is, even though we do offer small business loans, lines of credit, commercial real estate loans, but what we really like to do is emphasize and outreach to diverse business owners and underserved areas and zones. So we are headquartered in downtown Los Angeles in an opportunity zone. So we're also expanding to offices in Baltimore and Philadelphia and opportunity zones as well in 2020. So we like to help underserved communities be successful, small businesses, give them the loan the bank said no to, give people a chance who are looking for someone to believe in them and help them, start somewhere. So we also have a nonprofit that we partner with. It's called The Center. So The Center, they provide educational solutions for small businesses. So clients for free can access resources such as workshops and coaching sessions, networking. So we also try to help our small business, the people that we supply loans to. We also like to give them tools to keep going, to move forward and be successful.
So you touched on it a little bit. I just want to get an idea, though. So when you say small businesses, and of course, as you mentioned, one of the segments, I know you loan to many businesses, but one of the segments are those underserved communities. That being said, though, What's the sweet spot? What's the niche for? So if somebody's listening to this right now and they're like, I've been thinking about maybe expanding my business or, taking on some capital to leverage, what makes them want to call it? What's your sweet spot to know that they may be the right type of person to give you guys a call?
Sure. So we specialize in SBA loans, which are government-backed, and so our sweet spot is really $50,000 to $3 million. But what happens many, many times, a small business, maybe they don't have a business plan in place, maybe they don't have everything in place when they go to a bank. The bank just says no. The amount of people that we end up funding that banks have said no to is very, very high, because they don't have everything they need to go into that big institutional situation. So that's where we come in. We're in that niche, in that sweet spot, that if you are building a small business but you're not quite big enough for a huge bank loan, we're here to help you.
And I ask this question because I find that many business owners don't even always necessarily know that capital is available. So in asking that question, what are some of the common, and I know this is going to vary, of course, from business to business, but what are some of the common themes of reasons why a business would want to or should want to borrow capital?
Well, if they'd like to maybe they're expanding to another part of their business. Maybe they're online and they want to do a brick and mortar, something like that. Maybe they just sometimes you start a business and you get going and suddenly you realize, wait, I need marketing. Wait, I need to hire 2 more people. Wait, I need more equipment. Whatever, especially even franchises, things like that, you need startup capital. So all of those pieces are pieces that's where we would come in, because once you start growing, it's just common. You probably need more money to expand, and if you're successful, then you do want to expand for sure.
That's awesome. So Alison, if somebody's listening to this and they want more information on Lendistry or to connect, what's the best way for them to get that?
Absolutely. You can always connect with me on LinkedIn, Alison Connor, and the website over at Lendistry, it's www.lendistry, lendistry.com, and we'd love to hear from you.
Fantastic. Well, hey, Alison, I really appreciate you coming on the show today and sharing more about your background and all the great work you're doing over at Lendistry. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. I hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review on the Apple iTunes store, share this with your friends and family. I mean, do all those great things we do to support our podcasters. Really do appreciate it. It means a lot to me. And Alison, thanks again for coming on the show.